The Middleton family recently faced turmoil when their decades-long Party Pieces mail-order business shockingly went into administration earlier this year, leaving behind £2.6 million in debt. This was an unbelievable turn of events for a company that most people assumed was thriving. The creditors who were owed money, including the landlord who was due over £57,000 and HMRC, which was owed a whopping £600,000, were rightfully upset at this sudden collapse. The situation only grew worse when the Middletons had to deal with a vicious harassment campaign in their home village of Bucklebury, Berkshire, where they had peacefully resided for many years. Malicious posters and flyers attacking them over the business failure appeared plastered all over trees and lampposts, leading son James Middleton, who had recently welcomed a new baby with wife Alize, to be seen tearing many of them down in anger and frustration. Just what could have caused this dramatic downfall remains a mystery. The COVID-19 lockdowns and subsequent raging inflation have been suggested as potential factors, but one cannot help but ponder what might have transpired if not for a certain royal twist of fate. According to respected royal author Robert Lacey in his hot-selling book Battle of Brothers, eldest daughter Catherine had always displayed a shrewd eye for profit and a very hard head on her shoulders when it came to business dealings. He believes that had she chosen to continue on that path, rather than becoming a member of the royal family through her marriage to Prince William, her savvy business acumen may well have taken Party Pieces into another dimension of success. Indeed, all three Middleton children were deeply involved in the company from its early days operating out of their family kitchen. Young Catherine, Pippa, and James frequently modeled for product photos featured in the catalogs and pamphlets mailed out to customers. But Catherine in particular showed an early affinity for the ins and outs of running a profitable mail-order enterprise. Lacey writes that, as Kate grew older, she styled images and helped to develop the business, showing a head for negotiation to match her mother. A source intimately familiar with her skills in this arena stated, "Catherine had all the makings of a fantastic trader. She's got a shrewd eye for profit and a very hard head on her shoulders." After university, she worked with Party Pieces, and I am quite sure she would have taken the business into a new dimension if she had stayed, very much in her mother's style. So what exactly was that style that Catherine likely would have embraced? Lacey colorfully quotes a former Middleton supplier as describing Carol's infamous talent for haggling. Butter wouldn't melt in her mouth most of the time, but she was a ferocious negotiator. I remember her almost screaming down the phone on one occasion when I refused to drop my price on something. People could hear her on the other side of the office, and that was in my office with her voice coming through the phone from Bucklebury or wherever. One can easily picture a young Catherine confidently absorbing tricks of the trade from her notoriously hard-bargaining mom, and then putting her own fresh spin and savvy instincts into building the business even higher once she finished university. Alas, fate had other plans in mind, with Party Pieces now in shambles while Catherine prepares someday to be queen. The company itself stretches back to 1987, when the Middletons returned to Britain after spending the early 80s residing in Amman, Jordan, meaning 2-year-old Kate grew up there for a time before the family came back permanently to open the mail-order operation. Mike Middleton was working for British Airways, but soon left that job in order to assist his wife Carol in aggressively expanding Party Pieces in those early kitchen counter days. Over 35 years later, after weathering various ups and downs, the once flourishing and now hugely indebted firm spectacularly finds itself crashing down. One cannot help but daydream about an alternate timeline where Kate Middleton poured all her business savviness into lifting Party Pieces to soaring new success rather than into preparing to rule over the British monarchy. Alas, it remains just an intriguing case of what might have been for the former traders of Celebration Supplies and soon-to-be residents of Buckingham Palace. The story begins with Carol Middleton, mother of the future Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton. When Carol was expecting her son James while also planning a birthday party for her young daughter Kate, she was surprised by the lack of fun paper plate options for the party. This sparked an idea in Carol's entrepreneurial mind. She thought she could make better party supplies herself. Carol came from humble beginnings, having grown up in public housing in Southall, West London. She left school at only 16 years old to work at an insurance company, before later getting a job with British Airways at Heathrow Airport doing ground operations work. It was at British Airways that Carol met her future husband, Michael Middleton, who came from a wealthier background and had attended prestigious private school Clifton College. Michael worked in flight dispatch at British Airways. Carol and Michael married in June of 1980. In the first years of marriage, they actually lived internationally for a period, residing in Amman, Jordan for Michael's job. However, Carol struggled adjusting to expat life with two young daughters, Kate and Pippa. So in 1986, the Middletons returned to the UK to settle down more permanently. Then in 1987, just 1 year after returning from Jordan, Carol launched what she called her kitchen table business, Party Pieces. It began small, with Carol just making party bags for her daughter's friends from school. But over time, by word of mouth, the business grew, expanding from a shed in the Middletons' garden to eventually requiring its own commercial premises to operate out of. A key turning point for the business came in the 1990s with the advent of online shopping. Michael Middleton, seeing the business's potential, quit his job to join Party Pieces full-time as online orders took off. By the time of Kate's royal wedding to Prince William in 2011, Party Pieces was said to be worth a whopping £30 million. The company was formally re-established in its current form in 2019, with Carol serving as a brand ambassador and she and Michael as majority shareholders. An attempt was even made to expand Party Pieces into the United States starting last year. However, the company ran into financial issues recently. As of June 2022, Party Pieces owed £218,749 to RBS for a coronavirus business interruption loan, £456,008 to other creditors, and £1.4 million in unsecured loans. Contributing factors were lockdowns, the cost of living crisis, and ultimately cash flow problems causing sales to drop sharply. As a result, part of Party Pieces has now been sold to another company called Teddy Tastic Bear Company Limited for £180,000. The sale enables continued operation from the same Berkshire headquarters and retention of 12 employees. Earlier this year, before the sale, friends of the Middletons had shared that Carol and Michael, now 68 and 74 years old, were hoping to retire soon and step back from Party Pieces, making time for their 6 grandchildren. But financial circumstances forced the retirement timeline to accelerate quicker than the Middletons were anticipating. In the end, Carol Middleton's entrepreneurial journey that began with handmade party supplies around her kitchen table grew into a multi-million-dollar business over more than 30 years. While Party Pieces had its struggles recently, and the Middletons may have hoped to retire a bit later, the company will carry on. Thanks to its founding by an inspired mother looking to bring more fun into the lives of children through creative parties full of bright colors and imagination. It's a testament to what can start as a spark of inspiration at home with limited resources and grow into something that brings joy to people across oceans. Even if Carol and Michael Middleton never anticipated winding down quite like this, they can feel proud of the legacy they built together, one party supply order at a time. Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.